Hello, hello, good evening, everybody, as we continue our run through the Eastern Europe DPC. Team Spirit against Darkside as this battle for the top three slots continues. And Trent, both of these squads looking reasonably strong, but Team Spirit haven't dropped a series yet.
No, and that is important. Turns out you don't want to drop your series because when you start dropping series, you don't get one of those nice 3 slots at the top because there's very scary teams here, and they've dropped 2 series right for Darkside. So
yeah,
this is crunch time. If you want to be a major slot, you're at the point where I don't think you can drop 3 series. I feel like 3 series is gonna be the cutoff at this point if you really want to get to the major.
Especially because Darkside are a series ahead, right? They've played 4. This is their 5th. Team Spirit, this will be their 4th. And technically, Spirit are already ahead of Darkside. So it's going to be this game of leapfrog in the middle of the table where Na'Vi, VP, Darkside, Spirit looking to take games off each other. As it looks like BetBoom now have kind of cemented themselves in the top 3 at least, if not just top spot completely.
Yeah, BetBoom. I mean, Na'Vi, Team Spirit, and Namiga haven't played them yet. So there's some teams there you're like, okay, well, BetBoom should win, and then it kind of feels like there's a decent chance for Spirit, of course, and then Na'Vi, we're not really sure what to think of Na'Vi because sometimes they look really good, and other times they don't look so hot, and they've only got their win versus Move, but they've taken games off both Spirit and Darkside, so theoretically Na'Vi can do it, and of course the Na'Vi fans out there are praying for that. But more than likely, yeah, BetBoom looking solid, and this is truly crucial for Darkside. I think if you don't win this, you're probably not making the major. So big go time right now.
Especially with how well Hellraisers have been playing. I think they've been the standout team for me. Not knowing what to really expect from that squad, but obviously when you've got someone like Solo captaining it, you know they're going to do decently. But I think they've surpassed expectations with Dahak and Miero and Solo doing very, very well for themselves.
Bring back the Meepo. That's all I have to say.
The
Dahak Meepo. The Dahak Meepo. People don't even know. They don't even know how good this guy is at Meepo. I swear. He did it like a couple times, and I was like, this guy, because I remember when Dahak first started that his farming patterns, it was the first time I really felt like, oh, I get why some people are so much better at farming patterns. Like, watching the way he farmed on like Medusa and stuff was really impressive. And then he played Meepo, and I was like, this is the greatest player-hero combo ever. Because he would just get all the farm. And then Meepo died. And Meepo was already kind of dead at that point anyway. So bring back Meepo, patch soon, XD. I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, how far back was that?
I don't know. Quite a few years ago.
Were you laughing? I was taking a sip of my drink, expecting this story to go a bit longer. I'm like, yeah, I'm settling in.
No, that's it. No, he just played some Meepo games, like kind of when he first started popping off as a really nice carry player, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then it just, didn't really make a big comeback. So it doesn't matter though, because Muerto will be here soon, and right, because it's early 2023. Last time I checked here, guys, still early. So
soon,
yeah, soon it'll be after the major. Let's just all get all that hopium out of the way. Be after the major. We're currently fixing some cameras, guys. I'm sorry that we haven't started the series yet, but that's why. Not intentionally delaying everything. So what role do you guys think Muerto's gonna be, huh?
Agi carry. That's what she's gonna be.
You think?
Another one.
I want to see. She does look kind of edgy. I could see her being int though, just because she's like ghosty. I feel like a lot of the ghosts they get away with like the int stuff.
I think they're gonna give her. I think they're gonna give her too much pure damage to begin with. Like it feels like they're gonna give her pure damage spells, the whole ghosty, ethereal, pure damage stuff, and then realize that's broken, and then nerf her into the ground after 4 or 5 weeks.
Now she's clearly gonna have one of the all the new heroes have most of them at least have what's that targeting called? Vector targeting.
Vector, yeah.
I think she should be able to curve the bullets like everyone's favorite James McAvoy movie, Wanted.
I've heard you use that line before several times, I think. I've just had deja vu hitting real hard.
So yeah, she should be curving the bullets, I think. That just seems like the natural step. So we can get a little vector target curve going on here.
I don't know. Are you trolling? Because I genuinely enjoyed that movie when it came out. I've even rewatched it.
I did. No, I did. I was a good age for it. Yeah, it was quality.
I rewatched it
did
recently,
what it promised.
It doesn't look as good as it did 10 years ago. How old is that movie,
bro?
Now?
You're
it's gonna
way
be
older than that.
12, 13, 15. Is it 15? Wanted movie. 2008. That's 15 years, right?
Holy shit, we're old, dude.
Bang on 15 years. Jeez.
15 years.
And imagine this. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Insane. So what? I was 17 when it came out. Yeah, I was a good age for it. There's a Wanted 2?
No, there isn't.
Wow.
Why?
Will there be a Wanted 2 movie? Oh, they started it.
Oh, Kristen
But the
Stewart's
sequel
gonna be in it.
never got made. Just revealed in this October that it could have happened, guys. Wow.
Oh, it got cancelled, hey?
These are the things we learn when we're dealing with delays.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, nuts.
That's real sad. I don't know, before we went on this tangent, I was starting to think about how Dahak, I think, is a story of a carry player that's kind of carved his own style. I was watching the NA broadcast last night, and Arteezy was asked who his kind of role models were, and he was like, well, Matu and Ame, were his, and now he's got to look for a new role model because of the way that they carve their own style. They don't really care about what's going on in the meta or in the game. They kind of know what's right and know how they want to play. And I feel that's kind of similar, segueing into the series we've got going on in a couple of minutes. Team Spirit's Yatoro, it doesn't seem to matter what hero he's playing, because he's playing different heroes in every single game, bar 2 this tour so far. Whereas it feels like Ramses is the polar opposite, where he's playing a very small hero pool, very kind of meta-defined, and he's very farm heavy.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite thing about Yatoro is you never really know what you're gonna expect. Like he'll do a similar style in all those heroes, but he's able to meld them all in so well to his own play style. He reminds me, like, him and Yuragi, I think, are fairly similar. I kind of expect the same thing out of those two, and they have a similar dynamic with their mid players. So I guess obviously that's now changed for Yatoro. They're a little bit more flexible in that OG style, whereas Team Spirit back when they had Toronto Tokyo was more kind of rigid. Like there wasn't, a lot of that like carry from the mid situation from Toronto Tokyo. And Laryl as well. We've talked about that a little bit. We haven't seen so much of that either. I wouldn't say that he's been given the reins of like win us the game, Laryl, very often, right? He's not playing this big carry from the mid. Although to be fair, that's also not very patch popular at the moment right now either.
Yeah, unless you're shifting things up to like put your sniper mid, it doesn't feel like it's the old days where we'd have Morphling mid every now and then, or PL mid, stuff like that. It feels like, especially in Lar's case, I think you're right. It's very much the Dragonites, Kunkers, Pango. Sorry, yeah, Pango's probably the key one we've seen him play a fair amount, along with maybe a Tusk here and there. Yeah, very much the playmaking, action creating mid laner.
Well, good news, everyone. The delay's over. We've done it. We've made our way into the draft. Things are starting here. We will get some heroes for you. I know.
Very nice.
I did want to check out some basic stats, though, because I thought we were going to have more of a delay, so I'm going to talk about them anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you 3 seconds to take a little right in the chat there. Which hero do you think has been featured in the most drafts for this entire DPC? All right.
Picks and bans? Like featured means overall?
Yes, picks and bans. 3.
Is it Lena?
That's right, everyone. It was Lena. Very good. Such a smart chat we have here today. She is, in fact, the most banned hero. Look at my segue here. God, my segues are
perfect.
Good. She's the most banned hero in the entirety of the DPC, with a whopping 172 bans to her 60 picks.
I thought you were going to say a 172% pick ban rate.
My math's not that bad. All right, relax. It's okay. Now, chat, question number 2. Which hero in the DPC is the most picked hero? Okay, so the most picked. We're not just the bans, fully picked. Who's been in the most games across DPC? I'm gonna count to 4 this time, and that's your hint because it's a little longer to type. Okay, ready? 1,
turn to ban.
2, 3. Giving you a little bit extra time there. You had to change over your keyboard from a separate language to write in the correct one. And 4. That's right. It's Rubik. Very good. Oh, such a smart chat we have here today. Well done, everyone. He's banned here though.
You know this guy's a father. You know he's got kids. Good job. What an amazing motivating everyone. But yeah, there's a Rubik ban. There's a Lena pick. So seems like everything is going according to plan. Darkside with an early Ember pick though, and a Mirana Tusk for Team Spirit. No massive surprises there. Mira Mirana very strong in this potential for Miposhka on the Tusk, maybe the mid-lull Tusk. We have seen it. But I want you to tell me about this Ember first phase. Is that just the position 1 and 2 snap-picked by Darkside already?
That's kind of interesting. Especially because Ember is a little bit vulnerable before level 6. But he can also do pretty well in most matchups. Especially if they want to send the Tusk mid. But You know, if they wind up going for some big old counter pick or something in the mid lane, he'll be all right. Unless it's like Necrophos, and that's also really good against your other heroes. But that seems unlikely because there's also a Lina. So I don't know if I want to like run a mid Necrophos into a safe lane Lina right now.
Those days were disgusting. Like, Necro just like camping between towers, waiting for the Ember to come. I remember a bunch of Embers were going to like enemy tier 3 and trying to farm the waves in front of them, then going large camp just to get any little bit of gold they could.
I think I've seen that counter pick still get picked a couple times, and it still looks pretty much as bad. So I definitely think it's still something to be concerned about with these earlier Ember picks. But again, with the Lina, you know, probably don't want to risk it.
And it's not just the Necro as well, right? We've seen in the past, you know, this Ursa ban, maybe an overall, you know, kind of blanket ban, but also very good against Ember in the mid lane. We've seen Slarks as well. Mid lane Slarks against Ember Spirits crush that lane a little bit.
We use the Alks too.
Oh, yeah.
People would try that because it was physical damage, but then there's kind of like this, you know, catch-22 of like, yeah, but Ember also does a lot of damage, and but then you get a greedy Alk in the mid, so sometimes it kind of feels worth it.
Yeah, and the DK ban makes sense as well. That jump stun against both Alina and Ember, having that immediate catch always feels nice. So a good solid round of bans there from Darkside. Of course, we can't get through a ban stage against Team Team Spirit. My apologies, without a Magnus being removed either. First phase worthy.
Yeah, we're not getting that one this year. I wonder, have there been any games? It's let's see. I think one game. It wasn't even first phase ban versus one move, and it didn't even get touched the whole draft. So, you know, they're not committed fully. That was only the third game, though. To be fair, they did win game 2 with it when it was ignored. So there you go. But there's our other favorite hero. Jeez, we just got all the fan favorites. Four to five of these heroes are just like the absolute tippy toppy of heroes, I would say right now. And Ember's decent. He's still being picked and played a lot. I just don't know if he's been like, you know, as dominant as something like Death Prophet.
Yeah, we've seen Squadix have some pretty good performances on the Ember, but it's felt that's been a later pick where you've known the supports and the matchups and stuff like that. Yeah. DP feels much safer to be picking her wherever you want in the draft. Going to give you a solid 3. And when you pair it with a Tusk, it feels just so incredibly nice because you dive towers with both of these heroes. You boot out the enemy safe laner, you get your safe laner to come up to kill the tower. And even without catapults, you know, we've seen multiple times, 5-6 minutes in, they're just crushing tier 1s.
And I wonder how you're going to secure that safe lane. Assuming it is the Lina, it seems pretty likely at this point. Like, I don't know, can you get away with the Riki 5? That seems a little bit greedy. Although some people have tried it, I feel like it probably will have to be a Riki 4, and you go back for a something a little bit more stable.
But then who's the offlaner you pair with a Riki 4?
I mean, Darkseer, I guess, but he's banned. So.
And DP's already picked, right? I feel like you also... Ooh. So, yeah, it looks like it should be the Riki 4 shifting things up into a Lich 5. That's decent protection against the Tusk and the DP. And Frost Shield is pretty good protection against the Exo.
Yeah, that's nice. That's pretty cool. Get the Frost Shield there, can help with the structures. Helps for the dives because a lot of Tusk's damage can come from the tag team, and you're just reducing that straight up with the help of your Frost Shield. So, I don't know if he's the... I don't know. How do I describe Lich? He doesn't feel like he's very good at, like, turning around bad games unless they make a big mistake. And you get some, like, crazy chain frost off. I feel like he just tries to stabilize, but if you don't stabilize the lanes, then this hero feels kind of dead in the water. He
feels like an oracle. He feels like he's like sitting behind a certain hero that he really just doesn't want to die, and then maybe saving them and dying himself.
But, you know, sometimes you get a crazy gaze play or something, unsuspectedly, because he just has this very nice disable if they get a little bit too close. Not something that DP is generally concerned with, though. So, still looking like a pretty solid game here from Team Spirit. And, well, they know the safe lane pairing. They know their off lane pairing. What do you want? Usually, I feel like we get Yadro last. That's probably Laryl's hero. Yeah, all right.
Okay. We've seen a bit of Primal Beast mid.
I like that.
And see, I'm starting to wonder now if they want to change things. Like, the Tusk is less likely now to be mid, right? Because you've got DP and Primal Beast who are flexing 2 and 3.
10 seconds remaining.
So we're looking at DP mid, Primal Beast 3, Mirana 4, Tusk 5, and you're leaving Yatro's hero to last is probably the most logical route.
I wonder if you can get away with the DP more so on the off lane, though, with the Tusk and a pairing. You just put the Primal Beast mid versus Ember, because then you'll get good levels and you can rotate early.
And your Mirana's 5?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'd like. That sounds fun to me.
Yeah, I guess in my head I'm being very linear with it, thinking Mira Mirana 4, Miposhka Tusk 5, but they could do any iteration of those heroes and lane matchups they want to.
Yeah. And to help cover that, they'll get rid of some of those ranged heroes that pair better with the Tusk and would also just be really solid for the game. And the Sniper, the classic, just like match your big range carry with our big ranged carry.
I guess the big talking point here for Darkside is something we've mentioned a fair bit in their series recently. DK Fogus is being given last pick. And I think that is like super important, right?
Yeah, that's a big point.
Not been performing very well recently because he's been picked very early on in the draft and he's had some torrid laning stages. But now being given last pick, is there a hero here you see that's going to be able to perform with a Riki in lane?
Man, they've banned a lot of heroes though. That is an issue. It's like most of the offense. I mean, there's Nature's Prophet is still in, but I feel like that's the ban now because that could be kind of okay with Riki and do well versus a lot of matchups. But I think you just ban NP. And if you ban NP, then what's left? Like Dawnbreaker, maybe?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Well, they ban the Enigma. Okay.
So there's still the NP out there.
I kind of like the Dawn or Mars. Mars could be okay here. Just like creating space for the Lina can pair up well with the Ember. You shouldn't lose any lanes too hard. Although Ursa's banned, but like Monkey King's not banned right now. That could be kind of cool for Yatoro.
Yeah, what else has he played? Centaur, Darkseer, Beastmaster, Doom, Batrider. Is Batrider a consideration? It doesn't seem particularly good.
It would force a different pick out of Team Spirit. They'd have to go for something, but there is still like Slark's in play, PL's in play. So, kind of hard to fit it.
Oh, Visage.
Ah, the Visage. Okay. We were wondering if we were going to see this. We mentioned it several times as the ranged offlaner pool would dwindle. We've seen the Miranas come out as 3s. And the Visage, I mean, Visage is a great hero. I think, was it Zai? Someone was just playing it the other day, and it looked really strong. Just like straight up, same build, guys. Just buy Greaves. You know, Greaves and Drums maybe, if you want to get real aggressive.
5 seconds.
Yeah, who needs Wraith Pact anymore?
Yeah.
I didn't look into it, but now you've just reminded me. There were some stats flying around. I don't know if it's a game Lyrical was casting where Medallion was being picked.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that an option for a Visage as well? Oh, a Spectre.
I think it was like only the 4th Medallion or something of the DPC. It's like
That's
one of every 23 games. I think it was Benj Dota, BNJ Dota on Twitter, who throws us some stats every once in a while. So shout outs.
That's the one.
And we got a classic. It's the Yatoro Spectre.
Yeah, I mean, is that good here though? It's good at getting on top of Lina.
It yet, so it's good. He's got to keep finding those heroes he hasn't done yet this season. It's a classic versus the Snipers versus the Nature's Prophet versus, I mean, Lina in this new role. It would make sense that this could be a strong option. I like it when you have something that can assist with the Agnes plays in the mid and the late game as well, but they don't really have that this game. Looks like you're just kind of chilling.
What is it now for Yatoro? It's his 10th game this tour, and I think it's 9 different heroes now.
I think so, because he played Ursa twice.
Yeah. He's trying, bless him, he's trying to get through every hero, get up to Kuroki standards, play every hero as he
is that why they keep going 2-1? Is he
play more games? Yeah. That makes sense.
Together.
Right. Oh, it's pretty close. Fair, look at the odds. Pretty tight there.
We're looking tight. That's impressive.
Yeah, 1.6 to 2.1. That's not too shabby. I mean, I would have leaned more to Team Spirit, I think. But of course, head on over to EGB. They are doing giveaways every 30 minutes, and your first deposit will be doubled up to $600. And I don't know, with odds like that, I don't know which way I'd go. It's such, especially game 1. You know, game 1 is the tempo setter of the series.
Well, I can tell you that the first game that Team Spirit lost this whole season was versus Na'Vi, and it was a Riki Drow combo. So perhaps, you know, Darkside feeling a little inspired from that Na'Vi win, seeing if they could use that to their own advantage over Team Spirit. And in that game, he actually had a Monkey King, so it's a little bit better of a matchup, I would think, in terms of like setting like the tempo and the pace that you'd be playing at. And they lost to the Primal Beast stomping all over them from the mid lane, so it's a little bit on both sides this time.
I think my issue with this bottom lane is Visage is a hero that can get run over pretty quickly. Like DK Fogus has got to be very careful with his positioning the first 3-4 levels, because if Yatoro plus Miposhka, it's going to be the Mirana Spectre lane, They do kind of a surprising amount of magic damage with this, you know, level 2 Starstorm at level 3 plus Spectral Dagger. Visage is very slow.
And yeah, it's a good point to even talk about these rolls and everything. We were right about the Mirana 5, but Larl, seeing everything, says, yeah, give me the Tusk. I'd rather take that mid versus the Ember. I can get away with it. I was thinking that would be the Primal Beast, because to me it's kind of the same idea, but Tusk can scale a lot harder if the game goes well, and the Tusk should theoretically have an easier time getting on the Lina later on in the game as well without a BKB, so maybe you could snowball a bit harder. Pun unintended, believe it or not, but...
They're already on top of this Lina, in fact. Ramses
Primal Beast with the body blocks.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Give me that
Let's
free
see
damage.
what he can do. Yeah, I mean, does Ramses walk Fountain and TP out again? He's bringing some tangos, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
Can we just like lower Primal Beast attack speed a little bit and make him hit the same as Treant Protector? Because it's just not fair that he only hits like 63. I feel like he deserves a bigger slap than that, you know?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? You know, for the lore, guys.
I don't know, because Trample's a spell.
Oh, base damage scaling. It wouldn't be that bad.
yeah, no problems there. I don't know. I always... coming back to the role attribution, always funny. I talk about like every iteration of how they can swap things and be flexible and versatile, and they do the one swap that I didn't talk about, Primal Beast 4.
It's an interesting one. I think Primal Beast 4 is really good when the BKB doesn't feel super necessary. Like, you're still gonna buy it first. It's still his best item, but if you feel you can get away with a lot without it, it's kind of nice. And that kind of looks like this game, aside from the smoke screen. That part will be really annoying for Primal Beast.
Just buy a full staff.
Yeah, just trample first. Doesn't matter.
Roger. So far, doing a good job guarding DK Fogus. Still only halfway through level 1, though. Looks like Team Spirit going to crack level 2 a little bit faster. Ricky. Just on top of the Mirana. And it's Arrow level 1, so Miposhka looking to secure those ranged creeps early on here. It looks like not going straight into the Starstorm.
Got one free hit there before Miposhka goes level 2 for the leap.
And then leaps away. Yeah, curious. I would have expected just to continue the Starstorm build with Dagger, Starstorm, nuke people down. But they're going for the more, I don't know, slippery approach where Miposhka is going to be able to save himself against the Ricky and the Soul Assumption from the Visage, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like they're just chilling. Want to make sure the Spectre gets farmed up. Camps are blocked anyway, no pulls, keep it stable. Collapse is dead. You know, normal stuff.
Yeah, normal stuff. Just Lich Lina. Frost Blast plus Light Striker rate. Slow into stun. Yeah, DP doesn't like that immediate burst damage. Wants the more extended team fights or scraps between heroes. Get the full value out of that Spirit Siphon.
The old max charges 1 at level 1. Not very helpful, you know? It's a bit tougher to flex it here. Oh, yeah.
She's got a Wraith Band, though, now. A bit of protection against Alina's right clicks, at least.
I have become the offlaner. Alright. Oh! He actually didn't get the last there on the flag bearer creep. Depressing.
Or that one. And Ramsey's 9 and 2. Ember Spirit, looking at the CS, doing very well. 18 and 3. Timbersand at 11-4. How is he so far ahead?
I don't know, but he didn't get himself a stack, so that's a bit rough. Or sorry, a rune, rather, not a stack. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, I guess he's just got a couple more denies. Looks like he's just been bullying a little bit here. Not sure if Larl's been forced into... What's he got flying out now? Just his stick, eh?
It looks like he's struggling against Flame Guard. Not sure he can break it. What is it, 140 plus 150?
Top. There you go.
Oh, they do get the grab on Mira. Light Strike Array is there as well. And blast down the Primal Beast. 2 kills for that safe lane of Darkside. Ramsey's going to be very happy.
I found out what's happening. Larl's just missing a lot of last Thunder Tower. He just missed 3. Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, I was immediately looking out, like, are there treants? Are there, like, summons? No, there's nothing. It's just out CSing by this Ember Spirit mid.
Yeah, that was a bit rough. Game plans, though, in this one. Pretty quick-looking tempo. I'm not sure about Rebels' game. Like, all these Ember Miranas, very solid. Love that combo. Feels good. This game, it has to be like Ember Ricky, I guess, as Mira, again, in trouble up top here, but they don't have the mana to follow up. Oh, he's going to try and mango for it, but...
And the courier?
Oh, nice.
For one punch.
All right, well, he punches hard enough, I guess, then. But, yeah, it's pretty much going to be Roger and Rebel, I guess, right? That doesn't seem as successful, though, as a Mirana Ember, where you just get to, like, the Slay and the Bola, and then they're just stuck, you get the damage. But maybe it'll be enough to carry Roger to a good gold timing for the Shard, which, of course, is very important on this hero, or you feel kind of useless.
Yeah, it feels like Darkside don't have a super heavy committal draft. Everyone's very good at poking and re-engaging in team fights. Speedy Lina, elusive Ember Spirit, Riki with the invis and the jumps around. If they're able to kind of poke and prod, force out an Exorcism, force out the Spectre Haunt, Team Spirit have a fair amount of long cooldown ultis that they are reliant on to be able to win team fights and take objectives.
Their positioning in the fights is also like exactly the opposite. Like Team Spirit has a Spectre, Death Prophet, Primal Beast, Tusk. They are just in, you know? Like, sure, you guys want to be like move around, we will chase you and follow you and be big beefy bodies. So I think the protection of the Visage and the Lina is of the utmost importance in terms of trying to get some damage back into the side of Team Spirit, because around like 20 minutes, they're all going to be extremely tanky.
This is Lich still chasing the Primal Beast. Yeah. Nearly 6 minutes in, get away from my jungle. And Darkside looking to gather themselves both of those bounty runes, it looks like. They spot Larl. Level 6 Tusk does have a punch. Whacks into Roger. Rune, DD picked up by the Ember, and a good dodge on the arrow there. Roger flies straight over the top of it. And Rebel just sidesteps it too.
Ward given away there with the snowball. It was pinged right away. Using their big brains here. Hopefully we'll be able to deward that on the Dire. Free gold. And XP. Nice ward, though. Giving you that snowball save. That was big brain stuff there from Larl.
Yeah, real nice. And they've left Yatoro down bottom all alone now, so his last hits are starting to suffer down here. Visage 26-11. Plenty of denies for DK Foga, so yeah, having a much better time than we've seen recently. And to have a bit of poke against the Spectre. Raindrops and Magic Stick is making her life much easier. They do dive top as well. Ramses caught out by that onslaught and trample. And the gaze comes a little too late from Taneko. He's going to go for the TP now, knowing there are no further stuns to connect onto him. But here's that.
So free.
I don't know. The trample damage, isn't it?
He literally just like got on him. That was it. It was over. Like Clash just walked on the tower very casually. He sauntered under the tower. And there was just nothing they could do. Nothing felt appropriate. And now the wave's dying. She's getting XP. If Mira doesn't split it, this could give him 6.
It's kind of how every DP lane feels like if the enemy support isn't a Clockwork or something.
Yeah.
You just have this melee 4, you dive tower, you've got 3 levels in Spirit Slifer now. You don't care tower hits, you don't care creeps hitting you.
And he has raindrops too. Snakeo's trying to burn them away on Mira, but he still has 4 more charges. He has 1,000 HP. And it is like take the 1,000 HP and assume you get 2 raindrops off, then that's, what, 1,200 HP. So pretty hard to handle right now.
Yeah, what do you do? Ramsey's just farming jungle. You're just going to let this top tower fall?
I think this is one of those situations where they could just exorcism this tower if they want. The Dire even scanned there to wonder if Mira's there. They know Mira's rotating because of that, though, and that's why Rebel got out. Also because they scared us in room bottom. 2.
Chasing Miposhka, yeah. Arcane runes up. So slight spam is coming. No leaps remaining here. Miposhka, 6 wand and a fairy fire.
Oh,
but he's going to get burnt. Oh, the neutral. It gets killed by the wolf. Ember doesn't get the finish. And they are going to exo that top tower, collapse straight in on it. Mira not going to trample the creep wave, going to drag it and actually try and hunt into the trees, looking for any stragglers here. Darkside have already evacuated though, and that's what the scan will indicate.
Larl's just dancing on mid here. Roger not committing for anything under that tower.
Well, there's the first domino. What's the second one for Team Spirit? Do you swing mid, or are you waiting the 2 minutes for Exo to come back?
What I've been liking a lot lately is teams that start playing into the jungle because of these like ranged carries that need this little bit of space. So I would like to see them try and play up this hill, sort of control that space. But meanwhile, Roger stuck around mid a little bit too long there. And he got snowball, punch, arrow.
He sure did. And I got a D-ward too. So it looks like just naturally, even without catapults, they'll get a bit of chip damage here as they haunt. Where are they jumping? Up and down all over the place. Yatra is toying with the lich as they blow up Tsuneko. They also spotted Ramsey sat at a third of his HP. Light Strike Array, where is it? It's going to come, but collapse. The damage. Oh, the raindrops on Ramsey's kept him alive through the Crypt Swarm.
Yeah, actually saved by raindrops. And they know there's vision there as well, so that ward got pinged out because of how the Lina reacted to his movement.
Yeah.
That must have been a survival haunt from Yadro, was it? Like, was he must have been being pressured down bottom and haunted out.
Yeah, not entirely sure. Just saw him jumping from, like, Lina to Lich to Visage. I was like, what's going on? He's all over the place.
Ramsey actually goes right back to that top lane, too. Goes home, TP's back up there. Forced to stay in this area. Now Yadro even farming up top as well. We've done a little swapperino.
Yeah, swings up north because Visage has taken his tower. The Visage Vlad is ready. Curious to see if he does upgrade it into Wraithpact. Do we see some kind of Helm build on the Visage? Or do you just keep it as Vlad's and buy Greaves now?
Yeah. I feel like I'd rather have it that way. It is interesting, though, to go for the Vlads.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's pretty good when you've got Lina Ember as your two cores. Going into this bottom jungle now, though. Invis up for Lal, but familiar stuns and apparently some reveal here. Yeah, sentries placed down on the ground. Snowball will buy a little bit of time for Lal, but he's surrounded by 4 Darkside members. So a good swift move down south gets them a pretty big kill on the enemy mid laner. Transitioning that into something more is not so available to them, though.
It is a good waste of time, though, because at that same point, Collapse was sitting and prepping mid with the Exorcism ready. So kind of looking to pressure that mid tower, and obviously doesn't want to do that when he's missing his own mid hero. So it's very important to just keep the momentum going when you're playing Death Prophet, especially out of the 3. I feel like you just want to like pop your Exorcism every time you can. And so moments like this, where you're not able to do it because you're missing an ally, all that stacks up to give you like a slightly worse game on this hero. That being said, Collapse obviously extremely farmed right now, neck and neck with the Ember, and will be the one leading this team to the mid game.
Yeah, has Mac done already? Plenty sustained from them. And looking at item builds, Spectre, quite an interesting one. Back into the Blade Mail build, and then it looks like Hand of Midas with Aghanim Scepter afterwards. Oh, Mira. Oh, a lot of damage from that Chain Frost Soul Assumption. Big combo from Darkside. Pretty difficult for Team Spirit to play into this bottom lane now. Visage has planted his flag, said, this is my land. And it creates a nice bit of space behind him so Ramses can farm Ancients, farm the 2-3 camps down in the bottom jungles pretty safely as well. But they're trying to kick TK out of here. I said that he's planted his flag and this is his territory, and he's showing he's not going to go without a fight. Neposhka, one leap, has Wand and Fairy Fire. Oh, it's going to be close here to get another leap up, but the snowball, the Lina disappears. Now onto the Visage as well. Tries to get off the Grave Chill to slip away. It's a Lich TPing home, but stunned up by the last second arrow. Team Spirit, bring the numbers. That's how you kick people out of your bottom lane. Neposhka is invis for a matter of seconds remaining now as Rebel's Ember. He's got a safety remnant, so he's just toying with them and trying to kill Neposhka with the chains. Mana. He has mana now with a wand. He's got one. It's 45 seconds remaining. I can see the debuff.
Yeah, it's because Tusk was sitting on it, though. He placed it over there on the right-hand side.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So a bit rough on that one.
Well, that's three core kills. That was Lina, Visage, Ember. All 3 dead. And Team Spirit suddenly pretty big advantage for them.
And how did that start? All by trying to pressure a Visage and trying to keep the Visage alive. So you can kind of understand it. They want to get that big damage out. Yeah, if you can save the Visage and just give him a couple more rounds of just like right clicks and that spacing that you can get there, but obviously not able to make the turnaround play in this one. And they still have Exorcism right now.
Yeah, they used Haunt and Moonlight, but I still got Exo to go. I guess that's the big strength. Big strength of the Spectre, right? You're just on the opposite side of the map. Suddenly, 5 heroes on top of the Visage.
Yeah, and with Midas ready in a moment, that's gonna be a quick path.
Poor Tsuneko. Deary me, that was camping here by the Ancients. Might get the cross kill on Mira though as he tries to escape, and successfully so it looks like. Onslaught gets the high ground, and off to the side, the Roger Ricky. He's on to Neposhka. Mirana down to the Maelstrom strike of the Lina.
He just wanted it. He's like, maybe I can get out.
Lal still fighting. He's 1v2. Ramses has given up on his battle, wanted to go back to farming, but now Collapse is coming in, but he's under a dire sentry. Invis Rune going to give him that sneaky move that he was hoping for.
The dust connects, but he's already back on the other side. They were hoping that he was still lurking somewhere in the mid there. Maybe could have got him to a combo out of the Searing Chains. Motion comes mid. Oh, takes up the Bounty Rune. That's how you know something good's going to happen.
Nice. Yeah, they want that mid tower, don't they?
One would suspect, but the Haunt's not up for another 35 seconds, so no point rushing it yet. But the Shard will also be up in 15 seconds here for Roger, as there's nothing else to really buy in this hero at this point in the game, so he's just waiting for that to come into play here. And how are we going to play off of Riki Shard this game? You got Birds to follow up a stun, you got LSA, you got even maybe like a Lich play. It's pretty cooperative.
Yeah, well, we've seen a couple of moves over all regions where we've had this Ember Spirit Riki and maybe 1 or 2 Force Staffs as well, right? Where you Sleeping Dart a target, you slight change them, you Force Staff them to low ground, you catch and kill them.
Meanwhile, down bottom though, at the same time, Laryl's in trouble.
Yeah, getting on top of the Tusk under those tier 2, they dust him. Now snowballed back into the waiting arms of 4 Darkside heroes. Team Spirit nowhere nearby. They were equally hunting the Ramses Alina up in that top jungle, but they're not quite able to connect.
Radiant's bottom tower.
No, they tried to use that defensive haunt to their advantage. See if they could also find Ramses. We'll find him now with Mira, but Mira's pretty alone right now. Oh, it's Courier. Mira, your Courier.
Radiant's Courier has been
Collapse. Sleeping Dart into the Familiars. That's a lot of damage straight onto this DP. Through the Greaves, through the 1 charges.
That's a big problem. They thought they had things sort of like set up here, but then the dart happens. And the dart, if everyone's not ready to go, if you don't instantly haunt from that Spectre, the dart's just going to break apart the entire engagement. And Mira was like stuck in enemy territory, in behind the Lina. They were trying to get a setup there, and Roger just breaks it all up here. So that's his game plan. He's just going to run around. It's a 12-second cooldown. The dart is insane for this sort of play. And now Yatoro. Okay, now this will be the true test of their strength.
He's got Haunt as well. They're just going to annoy Yatoro here. And they bring in a couple of heroes to help the Spectre out. And if the arrow connects, it would have been huge for them. But instead, they dive onto the Riki. Dust comes out. Mira's on top of him. But a good smoke screen stops any kind of pulverized play. And he blinks away.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the Haunt
back
wait,
in, though. Yatoro.
Oh, he was desperate for that one. Back to his illusion. And away he goes.
That's interesting. That looks like an Axe play, not like a Haunt. Oh, that's going to cost them too. Ramses gets the kill. I mean, they're both using ultis, but obviously I'd rather have Haunt than Laguna Blade.
Man, Ramses top of the net worth. Closing in on his BKB. There's going to be a pretty big sticking point here for Spirit as well. When Lina has BKB, what's the way they deal with her? Because Tusk doesn't have Blink. He's gone for this BKB build himself. And, whoa, Lich is chain frosting mid. They've darted up the DP, trapped him with a smoke screen. Still pretty tanky, and with the help of Lal and Mira coming in now, Suneko's burst down, and Roger, he's trying to run his way out of here. Spirit siphons up, and a blink strike back to Rebel's Ember will get him to safety.
Big defense there from Team Spirit. This Dart just breaking things apart lately. Making it hard for them to group up and finally push this mid tower, so keeping the collapse up of the most important right now. It is only level 1 Exorcism. We need that double up on the Spirits at level 12. That would be huge for them at the moment. It would also make Roche way faster. And they're going to start invading into some dire territory. They have a lot of great wards here. Mira, when he went for that big play hunting the Lina, he planted an extremely deep ward in the dire base. Call them Courier wards. Tells you what everyone's up to all the time. Mega broken wards. Love them so much. And that's what's giving them the confidence to come up into this territory. Now, mind you, they are under vision right now from a ward near the outpost, and it looks like Mira's going to miss it here.
Well, they don't find it. And Riki knows exactly where Collapse is. They've lost sight of Mira, though. They're trying to come in with their smoke from the south. And by Suneko
dead.
Catching out Collapse. Can the Onslaught see him? Try and push them around, but the Sinister Gaze stops him in his tracks. And the Primal Beast follows the DP into the grave. Now, is this an opportunity to Roche, or are you going to be reclaiming map as Darkside?
I mean, Roshing is pretty tough with them, unless they just like hard commit with the Lina, and Ramses is not there, so I'll say that's not going to be the play.
Radiant
And
are scanning.
Spirit, I like the idea of going up there because of the vision they had, but I think they stuck around a little bit too long. They also are doing it without Haunt. Like, if you want to stick around that long, I feel like the Haunt has to be up because you have to have some sort of an answer for when this inevitably happens with the dagger play, or the sleep dart play, rather. Because they had no sentries either. Like, you need those off-sentry combos in the dire territory to try and spot where the Ricky's moving through.
Oh, Tusk. It's just like a global strat, honestly. You've got Familiars on top of him, smoke screens down, so he's forced a BKB, which he just had delivered. He does get the kill on Suneko, though, so Lal getting something from nothing. Has to spend his first BKB charge for it, though. We were praising the warding out of Mira and Team Spirit. Equally, these observers from Darkside have given them so many opportunities, now blowing up the Primal Beast with that catch they've got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really annoying playing versus a Ricky if you don't have some vision detection. It could be really worth like snarking versus this hero, just because of. I mean, obviously there's issues with the smoke screen and stuff, but just the fact that like he relies so heavily on these deep wards to try and set up these sleep dart plays.
Another smoke up with the Lich and Ember again. This is their ganking duo.
He's doing the in-between as well. Man, Roger's going way around. He's passed between the tier 3 and the tier 2 tower. He's now up into the Radiant Ancients.
He's rapping.
He's going past the Radiant Sentry, though.
Oh, a little scary.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think he's been spotted. Oh, yeah, he just got spotted by Miposhka.
And they ping it.
Oh, and he off-sentry comboed there, too.
Hello, Dust. Howdy, Roger. Smoke screens down on the Mirana. They do slide chains her as well. Can they get Miposhka out of here? She's brought alive, but under this tier 1 tower, Team Spirit strike. Blowing up Suneko, trying to catch the Ember, but he's jumping to his remnant, while Roger does get dusted in the end.
Oh, the
Familiars gets the escape out. DK Focus and Ramsey's there holding a high ground off to the right, but it's the chase onto Roger's Ricky, which will net Mira a double kill. Weird place to have a fight, right in front of that tier 1 top.
Gotta say, Roger's looking pretty clutch on this hero, though. He's very annoying to track down.
Yeah, how many dusts are they using? Every time they try to kill him, they have to use 2 dusts to find him.
Yeah, he's not a cheap guy to fight right now. Claps is level 12. My God, like, he has not exorcism in so long. That's got to be painful. Feels like you're just not getting anything with this hero. He's the lowest in the cores right now.
Has he used it
not able
once
to flex
or twice? He used it once for top tier 1.
That's the only one I can remember, but there was probably another.
I don't know.
Because now he didn't use it in that bottom fight, so I don't know.
Yeah, they were waiting forever to use it mid as well, but now it's level 2. You've got to. You're almost level 13. Get some use out of the cooldowns. And Ricky looks like he's their target. The smoke breaks, though, onto Mira as DK Focus was atop the stairs. With a smoke and that sleeping dart onto the Primal Beast. They're going to catch him and trap him, but the Ember Spirit! Oh, beautiful fight back from Spirit. The punch into Rebel clears him out, and now the tier 1 looks like it should be the objective Spirit claims, but Lina offering her own right-click damage straight into the tusk. Light Strike area was there, now Collapse trying to dive. Good onslaught with a trample. On top of Lina and the Visage, but it looks like Spirit wanting to disengage. I think Yatoro is making the call that he does not want to fight without his Haunt. Does leave any stragglers to fend for themselves, and Ramses comes out with a double kill and a snap smoke immediately back into action.
This is sort of the double-edged sword of putting this Primal Beast on support, I think, because the smoke screen is ruining this hero in combination with the sleep dart. And so by putting it support, you're saying like, okay, well, I know this hero's gonna have a hard game because this is tough stuff, so we don't want to make it a core, but also KB comes so much later. And you can't really play like that noise indicator that you get with the charge. Like Roger, I mean, they're charging at Roger. You should never get caught, right? You're a Ricky.
Well, he's persona non grata for Team Spirit right now. Yeah. He's the one. Kill
all
on
that
sight.
Time too, like prepping for mid, prepping for Roche, unable to get it. They pop it on the Lina, and Ramses, a perfect setup in that fight, just gets to walk in. Everyone's sort of already disabled or embattled in some other thing, and he just stands there and does the Lina thing, throws out his clicks, feels great.
Is there also an element of, like, oh god, they're just going to dive tier 2, aren't they? Yeah, dart into Light Striker 8, trying to disengage the Tusk from this fight. Mira dived into the back, lol, gets the high ground, bottled himself up, but now Mira is going to get caught out here with a Sinister Gaze and a slight chains to follow. Another quick pick from the Darkside boys, and moving towards that tier 2 mid.
You know what's bad when they're not popping the Haunt? They don't have the confidence they can turn these fights yet.
Yeah, so is this like a disconnect with the Spectre? Between Spectre and the other 4 heroes? Because it feels like there should be a pretty solid 4 Protect 1 here from Spirit, but something seems not quite right.
I think Yatoro doesn't want to commit to this fight that he still thinks he can lose. I think Yatoro is saying, give me time. I just need like 1.5 more items and they just can't kill me. Like get myself a Yasha and the Scotty, then I'm going to be good. I don't know if he goes into the Manta first. I guess with Spectre it's kind of worth it because of all the damage boosts you get, but I also feel like the Scotty's going to be pretty clutch this game. Oh, there he goes.
Try
Shadow Step.
And close in on Ramses. No Haunt for third. Oh, no, they do have the Haunt. That was just a Shadow
Roger
Step.
just died.
Yeah, walked into the trees. Meets his maker as Lol and Collapse combo him down.
Look at Rebel. In behind like this, too.
Yeah, what's he up to? 2-man chains. Laguna Blade thrown out, and they blow up Mira again. He wandered down to low ground in the river where it is not safe.
Just waving.
I mean, dinosaurs left the ocean because they didn't want to swim anymore, and he walks back into the river.
What was he thinking? You're not a Plesiosaurus. Come on now.
Trying to role play as Loch Ness Monster. Oh, Nessie. That's what we need. We need a Loch Ness
That is what we need. You just nailed it. That's next cosmetic. Primal Beast Immortal, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations.
There we have it. Yeah.
Comes with a special voice pack. All the growls and roars just somehow have an accent.
And the hero portrait is that, 1960s photograph of 20 pixels of a neck poking out of a lake.
Yeah, but now I kind of want it to have a kilt. So now I'm not sure if I want to go Loch Ness or yeah, I'm thinking like bagpipes, a kilt, and it makes the bagpipe noise when you trample. And then he has one of those little hats too.
When you onslaught, bagpipes start chiming.
Yeah, that's the noise indicator. What is that hat I'm thinking? A tam, is that what it's called?
I know the Sporran is like the little pouch they've got. I don't know what the hat. I think you might be right. That sounds familiar. I'm gonna say you're right.
Tartan hats and caps. Oh, that's true. Made in Scotland. Oh, there you go. Hats, caps, tams, bunnet. Oh, they have a lot of names. All right, there we go.
Oh, we bonnet.
Rune of invisibility.
A Tam O'Shanter hat. There we go. Yeah, that's what he needs. Oh, that's right. I think it's what it's called on Demo Man in TF2. Got nice. All right, well, anyway, Darkseid, they've just been looking great this whole game. I keep waiting for the turn. I keep thinking, like, okay, Spirit, this is the fight. The Haunt comes through, the big damage, but it's never happened. This Death Prophet has not looked like the Death Prophet of this patch. Unable to get the momentum. I'm not scared of Exorcism like I am every other game. And this has probably been the best Riki performance I've seen in terms of... I know there have been some pretty good ones across the DPC, but in terms of games I've been casting, I'm really feeling the impact of just, we can't separate or someone dies.
Yeah, and I kind of want to hammer this home as well. The fact that DK Focus has had a good laning stage and Darkseid are winning. He's 4-1-7, having a pretty spectacular time. Brute forcing tier 3 up in the top lane now, and it looks like Darkseid is going to keep on going. Collapse does have this halberd, which is irritating for the Lina as Lal dives into the back, punches Suneko, blows up the Lich and the Riki immediately. Team Spirit, this is their time now. DK Focus surrounded, but gets into stone form, and Rebel has a 2-man chains. Pretty tanky on the Spectre, but that blow up of Lal with the Laguna Blade, and that Blade Mail does a tremendous amount of damage, but DK Focus, Ramses and Rebel able to withstand the pain. Turn and fight into Collapse now. There's a disarm again on Lina, but she can turn and continue fighting, but the return of Mira brought back to pummel the Lina. So Aegis gets expended. Rebel going to return to base to regen and reset. Does have a remnant to jump to now. And Team Spirit still looking for a potential angle to continue the fight, but it is over.
So that was costly in terms of a defense because they lost Spectre, but they will keep the racks. So I think that they probably knew that this wasn't necessarily going to be like this big turnaround fight win, but I think keeping the racks and making sure you're not falling to an economical disadvantage by the creeps becoming super creeps is going to be important for Spirit, and important enough that that was worth it. Spectre will get back out on the map. She will farm. She is a Midas. And so from there, he should still get to the Manta for the next fight.
Should do, yeah. And potentially that fight around Roshan going to be a deciding factor. Oh, juicy tier 3 item time. Ogre Seal. What else was that? Elven Tunic. Oh, Mindbreaker and Enchanted Quiver. Pretty good ones.
I do think as well part of the problem with this game for Team Spirit was the lateness of the Force Staff from Aposhka. Miposhka obviously not someone who usually gets around that fast anyway. They had to sort of up it a little bit here. Mira's just like trying to get BKB because the hero needs it, but maybe a Force Staff would have been the play as well here because like people are just getting stuck in Ricky's cloud and they were unable to help for so long until Miposhka was able to pick this up.
And Miposhka realizes that Kobold he dug up wasn't worth it. He digs it up, hits it once, leaps away. And Roger was on the prowl. Even saw the spectral dagger flying out, trying to chase Yatoro. Spirit back to holding high ground while Lal does get a bit of split push going. Blink, BKB ready, and about over halfway to his Desolator, so adding a bit more of that physical burst damage. That can be the undoing of Lina and Ember Spirit.
Now, for anyone who may have been tuning into the last series, a sort of similar match kind of occurred, right? Game went to, it ended up being 74 minutes, but there was this point where I was watching, all right, Beppoom's going to win this. And then they got stuck on their base, you know? Game looks really bad. The Goldie starts growing and growing and growing. But Beppoom did eventually bring us back. And honestly, it was kind of a similar lineup. In terms of just like, you know, they had the Shadow Fiend instead of the Lina. You got this big range carry. And in the end, you just got to find a way to shut them down. And it doesn't really matter how much gold you're ahead if that one big damage dealer isn't having a great time. So perhaps Team Spirit can get to that same level. They don't have the same high ground defense though as Beppoom did though, of course, with the sniper and the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, because it feels like, in some regards, Ricky is similar to Disruptor. Very good when he's ahead, very good in wide open places. When he's in the savannah, hunting like a cheetah, sprinting and chasing people down. He's very, very powerful, but when you get into these close quarter
another
combat
great cosmetic idea from Gary B here. The Cheetah Ricky.
But like when he gets into these, close quarter combat battles, he's inside buildings trying to defeat his opponents. Gets a little bit messy, and I think Visage and Lich also similar story. When they're able to pick their battles and they're grouped up as 5, they look very good. But if they are getting split across the map, maybe some struggles can occur.
So are you a believer? Do you think Team Spirit can turn this, or do you think this one's all dark side?
With the games I've seen over the past week and a half, 2 weeks from all regions, I think anyone can win any game at any time. Like anything is freaking possible. Especially, I've been tuning into more Southeast Asia than other regions, and the games over there, I know Tsunami threw up a stat in one of his panel segments where average game time across other regions, like median, sorry, not just average, not mean, but median game time was like 43 minutes, 44 minutes,
I
whatever.
did take up statistical methods for geographers in university, so don't worry. I can handle a median. Yeah.
I can't remember the other one. Is medium, mean, and
mode.
Mode. That's the other one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Usually when we talk about average, we talk about the mean, but there are 3 averages, maybe even more. But yeah, he was saying Southeast Asia has like a 46 minutes, like ridiculously higher, 3-4 minutes higher than any other region.
Ooh, smoke pop there, but delayed dust from Collapse, and in the end, wasn't really worth it. Bye-bye, Roger.
Slides away. A minute and a half for Roshan to spawn as well.
But yes, I've heard they're very scrappy over there. And I feel like we haven't had quite as many turnarounds here in comparison.
Oh my god. Oh, Roger's the target you want to go on. That's how you do it. Team Spirit still see Ramsey's kind of trapped to the shards. Throw the halberd onto her as well. Ricky will be alive when Roshan spawns. And it looks like it's going to be back to map manipulating here for Darkside. Bottom lane's plenty of farm to push out. And Team Spirit, the ones that kind of have to sit by their ancients, hoping for a fight to brew.
I do think Yatoro Scotty's going to be pretty scary. Like, imagine he gets Scotty Basher. It's going to be pretty hard to keep Lina alive.
Yeah, exactly. She just dies. Because you've got the Blink Walrus Punch and the Haunt with Manta Illusion Desolate damage. If she doesn't get BKB off, especially, she just gets shredded.
Of course, if she does, she has Satanic and Gleipnir, and you're all gonna be in tears. So we haven't seen that quite a bit.
Do they have any saves for her? Like Lich has on this, so he saves himself. Ricky has a Force Staff.
That's the big one. The one Force Staff. So it's gonna be careful of the Blink Punch into Snowball.
Well, they're trying to catch the Ricky again. Mira might have bitten off more than they can chew.
Oh,
just get changed stunned up. Now Collapse. Familiar stuns, Gleipnir, the root catches her. Death Prophet under the Moonlight Shadow. Do they have revealed the seer? They do. So Collapse. Laguna bladed by this beyond godlike Lina. Had a few struggles in the laning stage, but Ramses has caught up tremendously. Now top of the net worth by a significant 7,000 margin. And 11-2 and 2. Up
And
to
if they
high
check
ground we go.
Roche, it just spawned as well, but they're just going forward.
Damn, 3 lanes pushing in. No buyback on the Primal Beast. You might be forced to buy back the DP.
Those buildings, they're just gone.
What buildings? Cease to exist.
You guys gonna come back home, or you good? Oh, Roger, you're so annoying.
Sneaky devil. Nice dodge. Manta to get away from the sleep dart. Roger, trick to the trade, and the smoke screen down. Dusted up for now. Eposhka does get scouted though, and a Gleipnir is there. As the Haunt. Yatoro. Where's he jumping? Onto Roger.
He's trying to kill Roger.
Ricky. Does find the takedown. And they've got this high ground ward up here for Team Spirit, so they see where Darkside are heading.
Oh, he's gotta run though.
Lina's courier. Wait, is Ramsey trying to scout, or is that just... I'm just heading
no,
home.
it's just going to... I don't know.
Oh, it's roast time now.
All right, can I farm a Scotty while they roast? Unfortunately, it won't take them that long. Best Shard? Visage already has one. Ember already has one. Blake has one. Well, I guess we know who it's for then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ramses doesn't even put it in yet. He's like, really? Me?
Mira gets caught again. DK Focus Courier down, so Assault Curan's going to be pretty heavily delayed. And Mira with an onslaught ready tries to get away from Rebel, but Maelstrom Strike is there.
Ramses just really doesn't like the Shard, I guess, on Lina. He won't even use it. Everyone else on the team has one. He's like, nah, I'm good.
Why would I increase my net worth artificially when I can do it naturally? I'll just drop it on the floor, destroy it, and buy it.
Yeah, like it's just chilling in the backpack, you know, no big deal.
Okay. Collapse has the Greaves early to get away from the chains, and another lane of barracks here for Darkside. Yatoro trying to scout out and maybe get on top of Seneko, but this Frost Shield's proving a little too difficult to... Oh god, wow! Half his HP disappeared, snowballs on towards Ramses, but he's dead with no buyback. And now with a Sleeping Dart, good force staff away, Yatoro saved. And they back up, retreating under their tier 3, while there's Wraith Pact and the Familiars are just bringing down the buildings from safety. There's no commitment from Darkside. They're softly pushing up the high ground, and now Ramses realizes, oh, I've got Aegis, don't know I can walk up the staircase. Bring down his final lane of barracks. Mira is in, but the Sinister Gate is there. Seneko saves the Lina. That's the form of initiation they needed from Darkside, and oh my god, Collapse! Again, just blown up. The amount of damage here from Darkside is just... Oh, you can't withstand it. Every hero that shows their face gets caught, slept, chased, killed. And this feels like game 1 is over. Darkside looking for this first victory of the match.
I wouldn't even call putting up a fight at this point. I mean, Yano was going to try, but yeah, the GG called as he uses the final haunt of the game.
And some good blade mail damage.
Very impressed. I was not expecting that to be so one-sided. And you know what? The comeback story of the season, DK Focus. You know, yeah. I was starting to count the number of legal sub-games they had left at this point, and I was feeling the hurt for old DK Focus. But they shift up the drafting strategy. They give him a late Visage, has a solid lane, and frankly, just an incredible game. You can't ask anything more of that Visage. Just played it like, I'm going to go the lane. I'm going to farm some creeps. I'm going to help out with the damage in the auras. He played the current offlaner quite well.
And that's kind of the funny thing, right? Is that they gave him last pick, but a lot of the heroes got banned anyway. Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
I think the other heroes could have been really good as well, to be fair. Like all those other bans and everything, but maybe this guy's just that good. You got to trim him down that hard, and he's still that solid on the Visage. So perhaps all that pressure and like attention that teams have been giving to DK Focus was for a good reason. I mean, this guy's at Platinum Visage, you know? There's not that many people who spam it to Platinum in pubs. So I'm sure this one's definitely making the radar now. I feel like we're probably not going to see that again, especially not that late in the draft.
Yeah, and some thought now having to go into these first stage bans in particular from Team Spirit, it feels like, because Lina, Ricky, Darkside showing that they are incredibly powerful with those two pretty early on in the draft. I mean, what did we have removed out by by Spirit in that game?
Brood and something. Rubik, maybe?
Was it Magnus? Wait, was Magnus Rubik from Darkside? I'm not too sure.
Magnus was later, was second phase this time, I think. Right? Or was it first phase again?
It was first phase. Yeah.
We're really good at this.
Yeah, we can look into that later on. Think about it when game 2 comes around, because that is right around the corner. We'll take a quick break and come back with the rest of this series.